Leadership is often defined as much by what you avoid as by what you do. Poor communication, personal agendas, inconsistency, and acting like a homeowner instead of a fiduciary can quickly undermine even the best intentions. Throughout our From Volunteer to Visionary webinar, you'll hear practical advice from experienced leaders who have seen what works and what doesn't. In this section, we'll focus on common mistakes to avoid and proven habits to employ that help board members lead more effectively, communicate more clearly, and align the homeowners towards desirable outcomes. The result is that their communities keep moving in the right direction. Remember, great leadership isn't about being perfect. It's about knowing your job, showing up well prepared, staying focused on the association's needs, and following through over time.
Mistakes to avoid. Okay. This is going to be more just list type things, but as long as we're giving this 30, 45-minute overview, we want to make you aware of the minefield or quicksand, the things that just be aware of. Okay. So Julie, I'm going to turn it over to you for this again.
Yeah, these kind of quick hits here, folks. If you haven't done them, or your board hasn't done them, don't look at them if you're with them. You've probably been subject to this somewhere in an association. Number one would be secrecy, meaning you're just not communicating that, or you're literally not communicating because you want to be secret because it's too much trouble to give the owners the information. First, it's not ethical, may not be legal, but also it puts you in a black box because eventually that lack of clear and consistent communication is going to come back and bite you. Always be transparent, always be open. Too much communication is better than nothing, okay? Next would be bullying. Don't bully people. I mean, I've seen it happen in my own association, and over the years in the associations I've lived in, someone is often, there's board members that are bullies, and they bully other board members too. So, and as a manager, I saw it a lot back in the old days, but I saw it a lot. Next would be self-interest. That's your personal agenda. You're on the board for everybody, not just yourself. You may have gotten on the board because you want to lower dues 20%, but that is not realistic, and you're not just there for you. And you're not just there for, 15 people in your neighborhood that want something. You are there for the entire community. Next would be inconsistency, inconsistent decisions. Let's say you decide let's say the board's acting as the architectural committee and you allow Joe over here to extend his patio 14 feet, but you don't allow somebody 3 doors down to extend it that far because she's not your friend. Avoid that inconsistency. Be consistent in your decision-making and be consistent in almost everything when you have your meetings, how you communicate, how often you communicate. And obviously a lack of self-control. We talked about that previously as part of the soft skills. You must have self-control as a board member because everything you do and say is public. And you're a homeowner, yes, but you actually have a higher duty than being the homeowner. You're responsible for all the owners and all the common area and moving them forward to preserve, protect, maintain, and eventually enhance the community.
And Julie, don't you have a saying I'm trying to remember right now, and it's the communication abhors a vacuum.
If there's a communication vacuum, this is just like the thing I said this morning. Someone asked me about the board president that I'm in, that association I'm in, said something. Well, maybe there's not enough communication because if you don't communicate, I absolutely guarantee you that vacuum will be filled by rumor and innuendo and little sniping, and it'll be something you don't want. Pretty soon it's out of control and it gets worse around cocktail time. So always communicate more.
It's better to share the truth rather than to fight false rumors. Just get in front of it.
Yeah.
Just get in front of it. Okay, let's shift over to tips. We don't want to just scare people. We want to empower you and equip you.
It's really not that bad, folks.
Yeah, it's not that bad. If you do the simple things, again, we want to leave you with tips for sure so you can be pointed in the right direction. So Julie?
Okay, first, always be prepared. So if you're a board member, you receive a board packet either from another board member or from your manager or management company. Read it ahead of time. Do not walk into the meeting, opening up your laptop and then reading what is brought. So next is guard your tongue and your attitude. Again, that's a part of self-control. You don't want to have to walk back something you said in anger publicly. You want to always have that self-control. And your attitude, you may not be happy with how things are going, but you got to put on that face. Again, communicate consistently and effectively as a board, as an association, and personally. And again, your attitude, keep your head up. Attitude matters. Make like a duck. What's the make like a duck, Robert?
Oh, Julie, that comes from my family. We told our kids early on, when someone says something bad about you, make like a duck and let the water just roll right off.
Oh, let it roll off your back. Okay, I was thinking
Yeah.
duck smile. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, it may be sticks and stones. Sacred stones may break my bones, but words can never hurt me. Things like that. Obviously, they do hurt, but
Yep.
we would tell our kids, make like a duck. And it's you've heard us say many ways, many times, guard your actions, guard your attitude, have self-control. Boy, I don't think anyone ever told you that when you were thinking about becoming a board member, how
And
important.
guard your heart. Guard your
Yeah.
heart, because
Yeah.
especially that's why you have to make like a duck. Honestly, what people say about you, it's going to happen because you're standing up front. And when you're standing up front, it's easy to get shot in the butt.
Yep.
So you volunteered to stand up front, do it. Someone has to do it. And you're probably doing a very good job that nobody else wanted to do. Next, we want to prioritize the association's needs always over any individual, including yourself or any political group. Prioritize the association's need as a whole. Follow through, follow up. Always, if you say you're going to do something, do it. As a board, let's put it this, here's always a really good one. People like to, let's take a survey. Oh, the homeowners, let's have a survey. So the board sends out a survey. And there's I've written a whole thing about this, the good and the bad, the ugly of surveys. But let's say you did it, okay? So you followed through on the survey, but you don't ever publish the results. Well, nothing says you have to follow what the survey says, but you do need to let everyone know what it said. That would be a part of the follow through on that. And then if you're not going to do what the survey wanted everyone to, lower dues $20 or whatever it was, you have to just tell them, well, this is what it was. And yep, we understand a lot of people want this, but we as the board, because of this, and this reasons, we can't vote this way. So, and the next is to increase assessments to balance the budget. So many associations don't ever increase assessments. That is not a win. That is a lose for everybody, current and especially future owners. If you don't believe me, some of you may recall Champlain Towers, which is the high rise in Florida that collapsed. And it collapsed because all the previous boards kept dancing around the reserves and they never got them. They didn't upkeep anything. And it literally one thing on top of another. Robert can speak to this ad nauseum because he was involved in that particular issue in the aftermath. So that's what happens when you don't increase assessments. That's what can happen. And reserve funding is, Robert, let me give you that last bullet point.
Sure. Well, it comes up, we showed that roadblock earlier. Sometimes you just can't do something because you don't have enough money. And the answer to that is, well, if you need to do that, then you got to raise assessments and you got to face the facts. And one of the facts is the average association needs to set aside about 25% of its budget towards reserves, or they're just going to pay those same expenses with special assessments. The roof is going to do what the roof wants to do, and you might as well face the fact and pay for it $17 a month on an ongoing basis rather than a $5,000 special assessment in 8 years from now. That's just no way to run an organization when you know what the expenses are, that kind of thing. At this point in time, let's bring this program to a close.
Land
it. Okay. The text on this came out kind of small. Leadership is about people, not just property. Soft skills. We've talked about that many times. Work as part of a team. See yourself as it's not about me, it's about the association. Communicate consistently and clearly. Again, we want you to have success at your association, and these are the tips that can matter. Courage and follow through matters, just like Julie was saying a moment ago, and be patient. Progress takes time. If your association has turned into a lousy place where there's a lot of distrust and infighting, it may take 5 years to turn the tide and for everyone to start appreciating that, we now have good leadership. They are taking good care of us. And we spoke earlier about the duty to inquire. There are people out there to help. So keep your eyes open, look around, follow your guides, whether that's your attorney, your manager, your outside consultant, your reserve state professional, whatever it is. Look for help, take the help. Don't be too prideful, tuck your ego, and learn that plant that you like, It won't work in the shade in the front of your building, just whatever it is. Julie has some great additional services and resources at her website, adamant-inc.com. And one of those things, Julie, let me turn it over to you. You've got some online training.
Sure. Yes, we have online training for managers and for board members. CAM 101 for board members. It's about 4 hours worth of training, especially for new board members if they don't know what to expect. We actually covered a little bit of it here in this particular program, but it's 4 hours for about $75. And I think you would find it a terrific resource, especially for your new board members, so they have some idea how associations operate. And it's very general, but it gives an amount of knowledge that most board members need. Because once again, like most of you, you walked into it thinking, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And then you realize, oh, this is how it's set up. This kind of cuts to the chase on that for your new folks.
Yeah, I can do that. It's only a 2-hour meeting once a month.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And then from us, we've got plenty of other resources at reservestudy.com. I need to update this slide. We're over 100,000 reserve studies now. We've got a special report on that on our website. We've got a book that if you're wondering what the heck is reserves all about, you can pick that up on Amazon for $29.99, or I'll put a link in the outline to chapter 1 so you can get a flavor of it for free. And the kind of things we do at Association Reserves are we try to focus on our clients. So with a delivered reserve study, they can access that information online and poke around and change some of the numbers and see what happens if they do it their way. It's a nice way to deal with your reserve study, tune it to what the board wants, and you can actually find out, does doing this run ourselves out of money or not? Those kinds of things. Got more of these videos. This one will be turned into a video you can find on YouTube. And we've got lots of shorts there. And as Julie and I mentioned earlier, we really believe in board members. They support the entire community association industry. They carry the entire industry on their backs. And if we don't appreciate that and support board members, this industry is going to crumble. So we've got the podcast, HOA Insights, Common Sense for Common Areas. You can find that at hoainsights.org and anywhere podcasts are found. 30 minutes once a week. It's going to be this kind of stuff. We get guest speakers, board member heroes that we profile, lots of good stuff. And with that, let me turn you over to Jen, who can coordinate our Q&A time today.
At Association Reserves, we make the present less stressful and the future more secure. If you want to join us in this mission, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Leave a comment down below on what you'd like to see us address in a future video. Let's plan for your best future.